Hi everyone, in today's lesson we are going to go over thesis statements. What is it? Where does it go? How do I make one? So our goal by the end will be that you can create a thesis statement. For some of you this may be a completely new term. For many of you this may be a term that you've heard before. A thesis statement, it's a 1 or 2 sentence statement that expresses the main idea of an essay. I would say typically you want it to be 1 sentence, but that's not a hard and fast rule. Some people will say it has to be 1. If it ends up needing to be 2, then it needs to be 2. But it gives me the main idea of the essay. So by the time I'm done reading that thesis statement, I should say, okay, this is everything that's going to come up in the essay. This is the argument. This is going to be there. The place it should go is at the very end of your introductory paragraph. And the thesis statement has 2 parts to it. It has a claim. It's saying what the main argument of your essay is. And it has main ideas. Those are the points that you're going to use to support it. So that's all the info you need to know about a thesis statement. So if you take a look at this is my intro paragraph. I'll read through it and hopefully you guys can identify my thesis statement. There are many ways that we define ourselves as individuals. Some of us see ourselves as athletes or gamers or readers. Putting ourselves into groups is how we find a sense of community. One of the first groups you join, sometimes by choice and sometimes by force, is your culture. Luckily, you do not need to choose just one. The Absolutely True Diary demonstrates how you can belong to 2 cultures at the same time through Arnold's multiple needs, perseverance, and good judgment. So take a minute, see if you can identify where my thesis statement is. And it should be really easy. It should be my last sentence. So it's right here. That is my thesis statement, the last part of my introductory paragraph. And don't worry if you're like, I'm not sure how to set up my introductory paragraph. We will come back and do more work with that. So I said at the beginning that it should be a roadmap to your essay. So your thesis statement is going to have your ideas in it. My 3 ideas were Arnold's multiple needs, his perseverance, and his good judgment. I should be able to go to each of my paragraphs and see that thing in there. If it's a body paragraph, it'll be right at the top with my topic sentence. If it's a counterclaim paragraph, it'll be at the middle where I make that transition. So I say multiple needs. If you read the topic sentence from my first body paragraph, it says, a person can belong to 2 cultures at the same time because for some people, 1 culture cannot offer everything they need. So right there, this sounds almost exactly like this. That is my roadmap. I use this idea to start writing my paragraph. The idea of perseverance, sticking it out when things aren't easy at the beginning. If you read my side, this argument, and I'm reading right here in red, this argument doesn't realize that something worthwhile doesn't always come easy. That is almost exactly the definition of perseverance, and I use it to start describing my side for my argument. The last one is good judgment. However, this view ignores that hardship shows one's true colors. The people that truly matter to Arnold stuck by his side throughout. So in that one, I'm saying that Arnold is using good judgment by choosing which people to keep around him and allow to stick by his side. So my thesis statement is a roadmap to my essay. When I'm done reading that, I know exactly what's going to come out in that essay. And then when I get to those parts of the essay, it's easier for me to write those parts. So we're going to go through the process of making one. To make it, you choose your argument, you choose your main ideas, and then you put them all together in 1 sentence. Sounds like a pretty straightforward process, right? So I'm going to do it with a pretty simple topic just to give you an example of how you go through this. If my topic were what is the most important invention in history, I might say electricity is the most important invention in history. So now I have my argument. This is the thing I'm going to argue about. I'm going to try to come up with 3 ideas. It makes life easier at home, it makes life safer everywhere, and allows for further innovation. So if you take a look at my thesis statement, I'm going to take this sentence and put it together with these 3 ideas, and then I'm going to have a thesis. Electricity is the most important invention because it makes life easier, makes life safer, and allows for further innovation. The one thing you'll notice is that I cut a word off in there. If these guys are getting too long, these reasons, you want to summarize them in some way so that your thesis statement doesn't go on for 20, 30, 40 words. So those main ideas may be bigger ideas. You're going to find a way to summarize them. Like in my Absolutely True Diary one, I said good judgment or perseverance when it was really bigger ideas that I ended up using for them. So you guys are going to give this a try. If you think back to my Kit Kat argument from last week, you're going to use that to try to make a thesis statement for an easy topic first. So you're going to be arguing that Kit Kats are the best chocolate candy. If you want to switch and use something different, that is fine. But your 3 reasons, if you want to use mine, are it's a perfect mix of chocolate and wafer, it has a satisfying crunch, and it's shareable. So see if you can put those all together into 1 sentence. Hopefully that practice feels easy because here comes the hard part. Oh, sorry, there's one more before the hard part. You're going to create a thesis statement where I don't give you the ideas and I don't give you the argument I'm just going to give you the topic, which pet is best. So you might pick dog, you might pick cat, you might pick gerbil. You're going to come up with 3 ideas, and then you are going to create a thesis statement. And then here is the actual hard part. You're going to create a thesis statement for your absolutely true diary essay. You're going to go through those same steps. You should already have some of those ideas. You should already know what side you're on. So it's going to be up to you to formalize which ones you're going to use. You might use more than 3. You might use 4. You might use 7. For the purposes of this, just choose your top 3, the ones you want to start with, and then if you add those other ones in, that is fine. But having 3 will allow you to get at least 5 paragraphs in that writing you're going to do. And then if you want to use more, you'll add them in. We can go back and tweak the thesis statements, but we'll start here just to start with something kind of straightforward and consistent. So hopefully after seeing this, doing some of this practice, you feel confident that you're able to create thesis statements because they're going to be that roadmap that makes your essay go.